So people have been asking how to access Seedance 2 API, and the answer is on fal.ai. Let me show you how. So let's head over to fal.ai, it's fal.ai, and you're going to make an account with GitHub or your Google account. Now, once you've done that, we're going to go to the top right here, and we're going to go to API keys. We're going to add key. We're going to create one and then save it somewhere safe. Try not to leak it on GitHub, etc. So now that we have our fal account and our API key, we're going to open up VS Code, and I'm going to create a new file just called faldemo.js. Boom. Now, what we need is the SDK from fal. So I'm going to open up the console. I'm going to just make sure that I'm in the right folder. I am, and I'm going to type npm install at fal-ai/clients. I'll leave this in the description below as well. Hit enter, let this thing cook, and it's going to download 4 packages, it says. Great. So now that we've downloaded the fal SDK, let's go ahead and paste a little bit of code that I generated using Claude. So the important part that we're going to start looking at here is right in the quotes. I'm going to select it for us here. That is ByteDance/Seedance 2.0/text to video. And this is the endpoint or mode, if you want to think about it that way, for the Seedance 2 model. Right now there's about 6, and I'll cover those in detail, or a little bit more detail, in the next part of the video. But this is an important part here because the different modes need different inputs. So this is text to video, which is probably the simplest endpoint and mode for Seedance 2. All it requires is a string, which is a text prompt, a duration, which it has commented here from 4 to 15 seconds. That's great to have the range. Our resolution, which is 720p, which is going to be the max at the moment that we can get away with Seedance. And then we have our aspect ratio, which we'll look at the different options. And finally, we have generate audio set to true. So this is how we get started with the Seedance 2 API using the fal SDK. And next, let's hop onto the fal.ai website, look at the playground, and I'm going to break down and do a quick example of how the different prompts work with the different endpoints. So I'm back on fal.ai, and let's go ahead and search for Seedance 2.0, Seedance 20. That'll be a little bit in the future. So if we look at the different endpoints or modes here, we basically have 2 sets of 3. The first is image to video, then reference to video, and then text to video. And then there's the same exact models except the fast mode, which is going to evaluate faster, I suppose, and be a little bit more affordable. So let's look at our text to video example here, or endpoint mode, because that's what we had in our code, and it's the simplest to understand and look at. So again, basically represented in this UI on fal is our text prompt and the different parameters exposed as drop downs and text fields and one toggle for the Boolean. Let's go ahead and make one for ourselves for this demo. I'm going to say 50mm f1.3 medium shots of a man typing on a laptop at a sunny cafe, right? So spelled cafe wrong, boom, cafe. So a little bit of photography reference. We want to have shallow depth of field. I'm calling out a somewhat normal to telephoto lens call out here. And let's look at the rest of the parameters on the fal playground. So our 720p, again, pretty much maxed out. Our duration, we do see that the parameters are basically from 4 to 15. I'll go ahead and make this shorter. It'll cost less. I don't need a 10-second shot of this. And we'll leave generate audio on because it does a great job of giving you matching synced audio to the video. And importantly, I don't know why it's like hidden away. I think this is rather important, but we have our aspect ratio, which auto, I would want to choose one. We're going to choose 16:9 kind of for YouTube standard. And let's fire off this prompt. While we're waiting here, we can sort of look at the pricing that's going on over here. But an even easier example is that when this is finished generating, I'll show you how much this video cost and how long it took. Okay, great. Our video has finished generating here. That's looking pretty good. Now let's play it in full screen so you can see it in all its glory. Okay, cool. I mean, it took a lot of liberties here. I like it. Kind of looks like me somehow. I didn't prompt for that. Somehow it knew from somehow just me typing to make it look somewhat like me. It's sort of odd, actually. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, something to call out is that the audio is really great. It does match. And it added music. And if he was talking, sometimes it adds subtitles. So it's great to do the negative prompt, no music, no subtitles. But overall, pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit more detail about this. This is the cool part about Playground on Fall. We're going to go to requests and we'll click on our video. And interesting, we can see endpoint again is text to video, the normal version. We can see that this took about 2 minutes to generate, 113 seconds, and it cost $1.50 to make this 720p 5-second video. So these are really good metrics to have in mind and things that you can base your development decisions on knowing ahead of time and kind of an easy to use UI like Fall Playground. So that wraps it up for this video. If you were looking for, again, how to access Seedance 2.0 API for developing your web app and wrapper for some of these generative image models and video models like Seedance, fal.ai is a great place to check them out in the Playground and then implement using their API. It's all very easy and fast. Hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.